Everybody, welcome to my review for the 4K Ultra HD Drag Me to Hell Collector's Edition from Scream Factory. This is an update of their Blu-ray edition, and it's got some new little bells and whistles to it. First off, let's take a look at this. Got a slipcover. Scream Factory has opted to go back to original art rather than the alternative artwork that they used to do for the old releases. So, and this looks really cool in a 4K case, I think. That's pretty awesome. Here we are with the loads of stuff on here. Okay, so now I did a Star Trek Prodigy review of 3 disc, and now this is how you do a 3 discer. You have a 4K disc right there, and you flip it over, 2 Blu-ray discs to go with it. So yeah, pretty neat if you ask me. So I reviewed the standard Blu-ray for um, Drag Me to Hell when it was a 2 discer years ago. But let's see what I have to say. Let's talk about the movie first here for Drag Me to Hell. Uh, when this came out, this was the closest I thought I'd ever get to another Evil Dead film. We now have 2 theatrical Evil Dead releases and a 3-season TV show. It was almost a cousin to it, with Raimi's influence and overall feel and look of the supernatural in the movie, feeling in the same universe as the Ash Williams series. Little did I know what we'd have later. Um, Even with all these Raimi horror dreams come true, Drag Me to Hell still rocks and feels at one with them. Sam Raimi only directed 1 film after this, now 2. This is how old this was. Um, and going back here for this viewing made me really miss this guy's genre crafting. There's a skill and balance here that few get, and really only Raimi truly masters. His movement of the camera and putting his leads through hell for enjoyment all end up working like gangbusters time and time out. The man blends horror and slapstick comedy like the Three Stooges, like no one else. He will make pain look funny or a comedy bump hurt as well as gross you out, but also have your guts busting with laughter as you are disgusted. One little bit of capsuling here. Now, way later, Alison Lohman in particular, how she never flew off into megastardom and was in everything is beyond me. Through 4 films, I've admired her in Matchstick Men, one of my favorite Ridley Scott films, Big Fish, Beowulf, and Drag Me to Hell. She's shown a tremendous amount of range and is game for any role she takes on. She is put through the Bruce Campbell ringer by Raimi for the movie, and she relishes it in it like a pro. Justin Long had a period where he was an it kind of guy and then didn't really disappear, just hasn't been in a ton of high profile projects. It was a shame. He's a great addition to the enjoyable, unique presence he's in. Drag Me to Hell still holds up, and Raimi showed he can return to the genre that made him famous without any signs of rust. Honestly, he infused this in his Spider-Man films, and that's what made his 3 so much more character and flavor than the two that came after it. So it was way long ago. This movie was a bit overlooked at the time, but I feel has found a nice audience and can be still passed around and introduced to new faces. And if you are a new face, stay away from that unrated version. All it does is add some poorly done CG effects that don't really add anything at all. So that's fun. Drag Me to Hell, I made a big goof. I recently had to submit a top 25 best horror movies since 2000 of the 2000s to movie films and flicks, and I forgot I spaced Drag Me to Hell, and then it punched to the face when I watched it for this. Wow, I'm an idiot. I totally forgot that should have been in my top 10. Uh, oh, such a moron. This is wonderful. Well done, bravo, Drag Me to Hell. Um, okay, so we go to the video of Drag Me to Hell, which they have brought over with a 4K scan from the original film negative approved by Sam Raimi and Bob Murawski. And this is shown in 241. And it looks pretty solid. Looks really good. A nice crisper update, more depth added to it. Colors are fine. There's not a whole lot of here that really adds any like poppy stuff from the HDR. Some of the skin tones can sometimes look a little reddish a bit, but it's all right. Um, but yeah, the black levels definitely improve. The nighttime dark scenes like the garage or the graveyard and stuff really have a lot more beauty and welling to the black levels in it. They feel nice, deep, and natural, adding to it. So I give the video a 4.5 out of 5. Next, we will move on to the audio, which the audio is 5.1 DTS HD master audio, and then there's a stereo track as well to choose. So this is likely the same 5.1. Oh, we also have English SD or English subtitles with this, but this is likely the same 5.1 that's been there since the original Blu-ray release of this, which I've said on this I give a 5 out of 5, and I say um, it's a loud track, and that one that's mixed full on with full on horror effect with a crisp, detailed sense of layering to the sound effects. I even messed around with this on my Atmos setting, and it totally worked quite well and was plenty of fun. If you have that ability, if you're not, there's like a sim on my receiver. There's something that can simulate Atmos if you choose. So this one worked pretty well with that. Uh, the subwoofer had loud. The LFE had loud thumps, crashes, crackling earth, and more. Shake your sub to wonderful pounding degrees, and then surround sound. This is a well realized track that doesn't leave the rear speakers hanging out to dry. Every environment gets fully realized to unique levels coming back from the back channels, movements, and the whirlwind horror one especially gets a nice wicked twist and travel around the room. It it's quite an awesome experience. There is a moment in the finale where the spit roams around and the curtains, the spirit roams around the curtains in the room, and it does a full 360 through the speakers. It's haunting and incredible. And the dialogue here, vocals are crisp and clear throughout, no matter the insanity happening on screen. Okay, so there we are. Now to the bonus features. This includes a the 4K disc has the unrated and the theatrical. Disc one of the standard Blu-ray is is the unrated, and disc two is the theatrical cut for Blu-ray. So 3 discs. Now, no bonus features are on the 4K disc, but when you get to disc one of the Blu-ray, it has "Pardon My Curse," Making Drag Me to Hell, which is the brand new um, documentary made for this release, and comes from Ballyhoo Productions, and it's awesome. It's 2 hours long, and it pretty much is a section by section look at how they crafted all the effects and sets and stuff for the movie, and it's pretty awesome. Includes Alison Lohman's not here for this one, and nor is Sam Raimi. It features new and archival interviews with Ivan Raimi, Alison Lohman in an archival interview, Dilip Rao, Lorna Raver, which is a different Lorna Raver interview than the other one from this disc. Director of photography Peter Demring, production designer Steve Sacklad, artist Christian Cordella, makeup effects designer Greg Nicotero, editor Bob Murawski, composer Christopher Young, and there's some other people on here. What a travel. I mean, you go this big effect scene, or action scene, this one, and it's in super detail, including showing how they seance room, they built these models and stuff and how they move the room around, how they did the sinking into the rocks, how they actually built when they did the graveyard scene, they built it up like 20 feet high to do, and Greg Nicotero was in a scuba suit moving a dead body underwater, bobbing. And then the Christopher Young has a huge, like a half hour talking about the score. It's pretty awesome. Well done. Well done, Ballyhoo Productions. Disc 2 contains everything that came before on the Scream Factory release together. So you will have on there, they changed it. They used to be titled, but now it's just Interview with Alison Lohman, Interview with Lorna Raver, and an interview with Christopher Young. And as well, you get the production diaries, vintage interviews, TV spots, theatrical trailer, and stills. And yeah, what a loaded disc. It's 4.5 out of 5. They've done this twice now, and it's obvious Raimi's not coming back for anything, and Alison Lohman did her piece already. So yeah, this is 4.5 out of 5. I only leave the half in case a commentary could happen someday, or Raimi would want to come back, and that's just leaving it out there. But this is the best you're gonna get. I mean, this is dragged to perfection here. So let's take a look back at our scores. This film, I give a 4.5 out of 5. The video I give a 4.5 out of 5. The audio perfect 5 for a 5.1 track. Bonus material 4.5 out of 5 for an overall score of 4.5 out of 5. But really leaning closer to that 5, just so you know. So it's Drag Me to Hell, the collector's edition debut on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray, which you can order yourself a copy using the Amazon link in the description. This came out on October 29th. The review copies were late, but that's how we go. So very cool. I hope you're all doing well. If you're listening to this today, it drops. I guess happy Sunday. How was your weekend? I did something super awesome on Friday that I can't talk about, but I'm very excited to hopefully talk about sometime soon. Had a wonderful thing, wonderful bright spot at the end of a week. But it was amazing. And I can't wait. So yeah, Drag Me to Hell. Thank you for watching, and as always, stay film positive.